Alright everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Matt, and this is the Gaming Corner. Now, today's little episode, or whatever I call these things, happens to be my monthly game pickups. So these are games that I picked up through the month of October. And today I'm going to show you those games. Now, I am going to be doing something different with the monthly pickups. I am going to be looking at trying to concentrate on a specific console manufacturer. I think you all kind of know what that means when I say that. Like, I'm going to concentrate on Sega. I'm going to concentrate on Nintendo. So every month is going to be a different one. So the start of this month, if you can't already see by over here by me, it's going to be Sega. So for the month of October, these are the Sega games I picked up. Now, I do have gameplay footage recorded of all of them. I'm not sure if I'm going to be showing the gameplay footage or if I'm just going to show a top 5. But we are going to start off with the Dreamcast, and we're going to end with the Sega Master System. For anybody that has been watching these videos, you do know that I am attempting to complete the North American official US released Sega Master System games, and I'm getting very close. So, without further ado, let's get the show going. I should probably say one more thing before I get that going, though. I do want to thank all the buddies. I want to thank everybody who has subscribed to the channel recently. I appreciate that very much. I appreciate you guys watching even a few minutes of every video. I appreciate a lot of it. All right, without further ado, let's get to the games. Starting with the Dreamcast. Let me move these over just a little bit. First game on the Dreamcast. It is the Japanese Dreamcast game. This is Tokyo Extreme Racer 2. Now, it is complete. It's awesome. This game is awesome. The graphics are beautiful in this game. I am very impressed with this. It's a lot of fun. You're doing highway battles against other drivers. The graphics are just beautiful. I like the first one. I thought this was actually a different game, Metropolis Street Racer 2. Because I don't read Japanese, so I thought it was with the 2 on here. It was Metropolis Street Racer 2. It was not. It was Tokyo Extreme Racer game. Definitely a well-deserved pickup game. So, the next game on the list is actually a game I actually own already. It is House of the Dead 2. Now, this is the Japanese version. I have the American one. Now, I know what you guys are probably thinking. Why did I need both? Well, first of all, look at the difference in the cover art. Let me get my fingers out of the way here. Try to stop the flashing. Look at the difference in that cover art, man. I love the Japanese one. The Japanese cover art is beautiful. But you may be wondering, why did I need 2? Well, that happens to do with a peripheral I picked up. Since you can see the CRT TV behind me back there, I needed the Dreamcast light gun. Now, this Dreamcast light gun happens to be the Japanese light gun. And Sega, for some stupid reason, does have these region locked per game. So if you're playing House of the Dead, this gun looks for the Japanese version of House of the Dead 2, which is why I had to buy the Japanese one. It doesn't work on my American one. It actually gives me an error message stating that it's not meant for this region. But off the Sega, what is it called? Sega, I can't remember the name of it now. Sega Smash Pack Volume 1, that's what I'm thinking of. Sega Smash Pack Volume 1, which I have the American version of, has the lovely Virtual Cop 2 on there. That gun works fine on Virtual Cop 2. No error message, no nothing. But House of the Dead, it does not. Those were the only 2 light gun games I've had. So I had to buy this one. I tested it out. I can't show footage from that one because I don't have it hooked up that Dreamcast hooked up to come back to my computer screens over here, but it works perfectly. So with my boot swap disc that I have, I think it's a Game Shark one, I can load up any Japanese game I want, I can play it, and the light gun games are fine. So that was the reason why I did that. Alright, so that technically were the only 2 Dreamcast games I grabbed. Next, we're going to jump over to the Sega Saturn. And we are going to talk first about the Japanese games, because I do have a Japanese Saturn. There's one game I just had to get. It was the most expensive pickup of the month. And you might not be able to read the name on it, but you're going to be able to tell from the gameplay footage here in a second. This is a stall. I think I said that right. The Japanese version of the game. I've watched Sega Lord X talk about this game and how beautiful the graphics are. And oh my god, are they gorgeous. The game is fun. Beautiful, beautiful graphics for the Saturn. The Saturn was definitely a 2D powerhouse. I mean, wow. The next game was number 2 in the series. I loved the first one. I had to try out the second one. And it's known as, sorry, my eyesight's bad, so you get to see the old man eyes try to read this shit. The King of Sprints 2. I have the first one in this game, so I had to go get the second one. The graphics in this game are awesome on the Saturn. This is done in 3D. The draw distance is really good. You get a little bit of pop-up here and there. But this game, I had to have number 2. I got it really cheap off of eBay. It's complete, and yeah, it is a lot of fun. It's downhill sprint racing, 1v1. And graphically wise, on the Saturn, this game is awesome. Next, when I was at Respawn, he does sell Japanese titles over there too. He does have imports. And I've been looking at this one for a while, and I'm like, I have this one already. I have the US version of it. It is F1 Live Information. So it's a Formula 1 racing game. And I was positive I have the US version of this, but for $6.99, I couldn't pass up getting a Japanese one. It's not in the original case, but it is actually complete, which is weird. Because I don't think it's the actual case. I don't think it is, and I'll show you why in a second here. But this is another killer racing game on the Saturn. Oh my god, is it fun. Beautiful graphics again. I can't talk anymore. Draw distance is awesome. There's no music inside when you're racing. You only get to hear the sound of your engine, which I think is awesome. I like racing games that way wise. A couple of different views of the car, which I usually... It's weird because like I said, I thought I had this game already, and I swear it was just the outside view of the car. This one, I'm in the inside, and I actually like it a lot. But here we are. So there's the Japanese version. That's why I say it's not the right case, because there's no reason for it to have the flippy flop. But as you can see, I threw my US one in here too. In the US, it's known as F1 Challenge, and I only had the disc only of the game. But yeah, I did have the US version, so I just threw it in with this one. If you're looking for a good Saturn racing game, check this one out. This one's really, really good. Alright, that was it for my Japanese Saturn games. Let's go to the American ones. So this is a game that I want to have the complete series. Now, technically the game is complete, but it needs a new box, and that is Soviet Strike. I thought I still had this on my Saturn, but I could not find it anywhere. So this guy that I bought this one from, where it's at least complete, just needs a new box, he was selling the cheapest I've seen anybody selling this for, because a lot of people sell this one at a pretty steep price. And if you ever played any of the Strike series games by EA, that would include like Desert Strike, Jungle Strike, stuff like that, you already know how these games play. They are a lot of fun. A little bit of a helicopter top-down combat sim type game. game is a blast. It's a lot of fun. This, I believe, completes the collection for me of all the Strike games. Nuclear Strike is on the PS1, and I have that one. This was the only other one I needed, and I didn't want the PlayStation 1 version. I wanted the Saturn version to start with, so I had to track this down. And I finally found it, got it. I just need to get a new box for it. This next Saturn game, you guys might be wondering, why the hell did you buy this? Because a lot of people hated this game. I had it before, no clue what happened to it. Guy on eBay gave me a great deal on this game. And I do mean a great deal. I got it for $2. I couldn't pass that up. The game's probably worth less than that in reality because it's, like I said, a lot of people never liked it. It's not a great game. I actually find it to be a lot of fun, and it is. Digital Pictures Quarterback Attack, the professional quarterback simulator. I found this game to be a blast. You know, I thought Mike Dick's acting in it was, I heard when he was a coach for the Chicago Bears and stuff like that he really had a massive temper and attitude. He kind of tries to do it in here, but it's not, you know, perfect or anything. He definitely wasn't an actor. Let's just put it that way. But there's something about this game that I find to be a lot of fun. Yes, the acting in it is just like any other digital picture game. It is definitely B rating or lower. But I find this game to be a blast. Graphically wise, it's nothing spectacular. It's funny when you are the quarterback in that and you look more digitized because you can move around and you can run and all that than the actual people in the game. But I found this game to be a lot of fun back when I originally had it. I beat it. It's one I wanted again because for me, this is basically like a hidden gem on the Saturn in my mind. This one was done extremely well. If you get a chance to play this, try it. I found this one to be fun. Maybe I'm just weird. I don't know. All right, so that was it for the Saturn games. But there is one more thing that I got for my Sega Saturn. It's another peripheral. The Saturn light gun. Now, I did not buy this one. This one, my older son got hold of. So my older son, Aaron, the Slade King, got hold of 2 Saturn light guns and 3 Saturn light gun games. When he bought them, he got a really good deal. I think he got it all for under $100. He got 2 of the light guns, both Virtual Cop games, and House of the Dead. All Japanese versions, but for less than $100 he got that. So he gave me one of the light guns. He kept the other one plus the games. And yeah, just when he gave me this and I popped in my Virtual Cop game, it made me buy the Dreamcast one because damn, those games are much more fun with the light gun. I've always played House of the Dead, the Virtual Cop games with, I just realized my microphone's like way the hell back there. I always played those games with the controller. They work fine, but man, the light gun is just so much more fun. Oh, definitely well worth it. Now, there are 2 other Saturn games that I'm waiting on coming in. They are being imported from Japan. The first one I'm waiting on, that I'll show gameplay footage of for sure, is Layer Section. That is one hell of a top-down arcade shooter or a shump. There is, as you can see from the gameplay footage here, this is the Saturn one. I am emulating it at this point. But there is, if you're looking for it, there is a version of this game on Steam. Cities Connection has done a great Saturn tribute lineup, in my opinion, and Layer Selection is included in that set of games. Now, Layer Selection, if you're looking for it and you get the Japanese version for Saturn, it's definitely cheaper than trying to buy the American version, which is known as, I think it's Galactic Attack. So the Japanese version is cheaper. It was definitely made more over there. But it is one hell of a shooter. And for some reason, the Saturn version, even in the emulated one I was playing, feels better than the one that City Connection has on Steam. I don't know why that is. But I'm waiting for that game to come in. But the other game I'm waiting on, and it definitely was cheaper buying the Japanese version, is House of the Dead. I don't remember actually ever owning House of the Dead on the Saturn. I know I had it on PC, so I do have that one coming. I do know that House of the Dead is in the customs right now. It's sitting in Chicago in customs, so waiting for it to get through that before it gets over here to me. But alright, that's it for the Saturn stuff. Let's move on to the good old Sega Genesis. So, first game that I picked up, and keep in mind, I like my Genesis games complete in box. I don't know why, or in box at least, but this one I couldn't resist. Dashin' Desperados. I heard a lot of things about this game, that it was really good. It's a you versus computer, you versus another player race to get to the girl. Why? Who knows? But, you know, you gotta go catch the lovelies. This game is a lot of fun. Probably a lot more better with 2 players, but because I know if me and my friends were playing it together, we'd be just turning around and just beating the heck out of each other, throwing the bombs and stuff. But a lot of fun. When I originally played this game, when I first put it in, I was beating the computer simple. The computer's been whooping my tail end lately, so whew, what can you do? But that game, that's a lot of fun. Alright, the next one. I don't know if this game needs any real introduction besides boom shakalaka. It is NBA Jam. Now, I have Tournament Edition. I have NBA Jam on the Sega CD. Now I also have the cartridge version on my Genesis. This one is complete, which is awesome. I don't think I need to say much about this game. Unless you've been living under a rock. If you're my age, you know about the NBA Jam games. You know how great they are. No complaints. This game is just way too much fun. Alright, the next game. I'm trying to get the whole series back. I'm missing one now for the Genesis titles. But I finally got my hands on Phantasy Star 3 Generations of Doom. I beat Phantasy Star 2, 3, and 4 on the Genesis. It's 2 that I still need to get my hands on again. Don't know what happened to mine. This one is complete. So, Phantasy Star 3. When I popped this one in, I did check to see if there's a saved game in here. There was. I have no clue where the person was in the game. So, for me to play it, I would have to restart it. Plain and simple. Alright, the next Genesis game. This one I'm kind of on the fence on about if it's really good or not. I need to take some more time with it, especially after playing these on the Atari 2600. But this is known as the Arcade Classic. Centipede, Missile Command, Pong. Pong is a lot of fun. Simple game, but a lot of fun. I'm not sure the reason why. Well, first of all, it is complete. It even has a registration card. This is not the original box, though. That's why this one was cheaper for me when I bought it, because the original box was actually a cardboard one. I like the fact this is in a clamshell. I like the clamshells a lot better. But this one in particular here, it seems slow compared to the Atari version. The Atari version seems to be very fast, very quick, especially Missile Command. Holy crap. But the movement just seems a little slow in these ones. Like I say, Pong feels fine. But it's the Centipede and Missile Command. They don't seem quite right. Alright, next game. Now, part of this game for my Sega CD I already have. I don't know what happened to the other half of it. But it is the Sega Classics collection. I have this already. But I'm giving this over to my son Alex, who, oops, spoiler, he's getting a Sega CD for Christmas, so he's getting this half of the game. Because I already got this one. But somehow, I lost this half. Sherlock Holmes Consulting Type, so I had to get it back like this. No instruction manual or anything. But both discs, they're in there. They both work. But I had to get Sherlock Holmes back. So I bought that. Now, Sherlock Holmes is also a full motion detective style game. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I have volume 2 also. I find the game to be fun. It's interesting. Nice story. Acting in this one is actually better than some of the other ones I've seen. But I had to get this again. Alright, this is the only Japanese Sega game I got. And this is Lunar the Silver Star. Now, the reason why I grabbed this, the guy that I bought this from didn't mark which one it was. He just had it listed as the Mega Sega CD. As most of you know, the Mega CD is not only the Japan one, it's also Europe called it that. I was really hoping this was the European version, because at least I'd be able to read it. It's not, unfortunately. It is the Japanese one. Am I mad about that? No. You know, I knew going into it that it was going to be one or the other. It's fine. I can't read it. But I got one of the alternate CDs covers, which is cool. I do think this was more the standard one. I did find out that there's like 7 different CD variant covers for the dang game. So I am still working on trying to get my hands on, even if it's disc only, of the American version. I'm trying to get my hands on that again. Alright, now we're going to talk about, that is actually the wrong game. That's one I picked up earlier. About the Game Gear game I got. I pulled the wrong one out of my Game Gear. I forgot I was playing Streets of Rage in there. Or was that the one I got? No, I already had Streets of Rage. So the game I got on my Game Gear, I'm not going to show the cartridge or anything because it's back up there someplace. But it is Sonic Drift 2. That was the only Game Gear game I bought. Now, gameplay footage, I could show it from the emulator or something. I didn't even record any of that one. It's a fun racing game for Sonic. I got no complaints. But now let's move over to the 2 Master System games. Last 2 games I grabbed. Game number 1 is one I needed that's actually part of the US collection. It is in a different clamshell, because the one it came in was destroyed. And this clamshell is not the best neither, but at least it closes and it holds everything right. But that is Alex Kidd in Miracle World. Now, I will admit, I've never been a huge Alex Kidd fan. I originally had the Alex Kidd games on my Master System. I sold them off a long time ago. So now I got to get them back because it's part of the US collection. This was cart only. It came in an extremely damaged box. So I switched it out with a different box. But Alex Kidd. Now, I am going to state this much for Alex Kidd in Miracle World. It's not a bad game. It is pretty fun. Like I said, I've never been a huge Alex Kidd fan. There's a remake of this game on Steam. The remake is actually pretty good. What I love about those type of remakes is usually you can hit one of the buttons on your controller and you can switch it back to the 8-bit version. That is pretty awesome. Then you can go to the updated graphics. Makes it kind of fun. But that's one more off the list that I needed to grab. The next game, as far as I know, was never released in the US. It was only over in Europe, so I did buy the European version. And this is definitely, in my mind, a game you should look at on the Master System. Yes, I'm sitting kind of weird here for some odd reason. I don't know why. But this is one I think on the Master System you should look at. It's different than what the Game Gear version is. The Game Gear reminds me more of Hang-On. This one reminds me more of Outrunners. That's what I'm thinking of on the Sega Genesis, where it's the dual split screen at all times. But man, is this one fun. And it is GP Rider. This game is a lot of fun. Try it. Give it a shot. I heard a lot of people dog on this game too, saying that it's not good, it's not that fun, the split screen makes it too small, blah, 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 blah. Try this thing. This is a lot of fun. I enjoyed the hell out of this game. Alright, everybody. This video definitely went on longer than I was hoping. Not as long as last month's though, where I had to split it. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Those were my pickups for the month of September, concentrating just on Sega. Or October. So, next month, I can already tell you, it is going to be focused on Nintendo. I just picked up recently an N64, which you can see down right. Where is it? There. That is my Nintendo 64, so I am doing a concentration on Nintendo 60. Well, not a concentration on Nintendo 64, but I'm doing a Nintendo pickup for the month of November. Yes, I am concentrating a bit more heavily at the moment on the 64 because when I picked it up, I only had one game for it. So I am concentrating a little bit more on that one. And we'll see you guys in the next video. And maybe I'll sit the right way. Maybe not.